Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 191181 here with the Shade Tree Survivals. Scout and I went out on a patrol today, did pretty good. We need some practice, we're rusty as hell, but we did alright. We came back, did some shooting, he did better than I did. And now I'm about to clean Big Bertha, and then I'll go inside and grab big old Betsy and bring her out here and clean her. But I thought maybe, just maybe, you guys might enjoy what I'm about to do. I'm going to give you guys a special treat. A preview of one of Uncle Fester's books that he wrote years ago, and he has never tried to have it published, but I have always thought that he should. I'm only going to give you a 5-minute treat, and what it is I'd asked him to do me an audiobook version of it, to read it off and record it on a high quality tape and send it to me while I was trucking. I'd listen to it. I have listened to this tape 100 damn times, I guarantee you, at least 100 times, if not a whole lot more, because I loved it that much. Now, if you just remember back to your teenage days and some of the wild and off the wall fantasies you had about girls, about teachers, you know, the pretty ones, your favorite movies, you know, like we grew up in the Star Wars era. Okay, our favorite movies were Star Wars. I also like Star Trek, but I'm sorry, Star Trek don't hold a candle to Star Wars in my humble opinion. But if you'll remember back to that time, put yourself in the shoes of this young man that is the protagonist in the story. I'm going to give you a 5-minute preview of this, and I would like to have y'all's unbiased opinions, and we'll pass those on to Uncle Fester, because I think it is excellent. But I am very biased because I am his oldest friend and he is my oldest friend, and you know, if you saw any of the Who Are the Shade Tree Survivals videos, you'll understand that. We've known each other literally all our lives, and I think Uncle Fester would easily be one of the top 5 fantasy authors out there if he would apply himself and throw it out there. So without further ado, I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes. Alright, 5 minutes of this thing and no more, because I don't want to be infringing on anything, and maybe he decides he'll put it up on his channel. He should. I think he'd get 1,000,000 hits off of it once it got caught on, because it's just that good. Alright, it's 6:13. When it rolls over to 6:14, I'm going to start the tape recorder and you can hear it playing. So I'll pause the camera. Alright. I'll give it a second, it'll start.
Fall of Stut the Hut by Joseph Bratcher. Finished in June 1990. Johnny Bittman sat in a social studies class, wore out at the school by the constant sound of Mr. Stutsworth's irritating voice. Social studies had always been one of his favorite classes until Mr. Stutsworth came into his life. He looked up at the big blob of a woman. Never had he hated a teacher as much as he did her. She sat in a green swivel chair that creaked and moaned under the mountain of weight it supported. Johnny totally expected that the poor old chair would give out at any time. Johnny began to stare at Mrs. Stutsworth. She had always reminded him of a large blob of jello that had been left in the refrigerator too long. The milky white skin turned bright red every time she began to fuss at the class or walk across the room. Her neck had been lost in large rolls of fat that jiggled when she talked. Her eyes were tiny specks that were too close together. Her small lips were always pursed out, and her nose was flat and looked as if someone had tried to stretch it back to her ears. It wasn't enough that she was such a ghastly sight to look at. She stunk too. It was common knowledge around the school that Mrs. Stutsworth had a skin condition that made it impossible for her to use soap or deodorant. No matter how much she washed, water alone was not enough to conquer her clinging, rancid odor. She had forced Johnny to sit right in front of her desk because of his tendency to daydream. So he was forced to sit there and take the worst odor that he thought anyone could force on a human being. Johnny knew that Mrs. Ducksworth hated him just as much as he hated her. She never called him Johnny, or Mr. Bittman, as she did with the other kids in the class. Not even when she was calling roll. She called him the sleepwalker. She had taken the time one day, to his embarrassment, to explain that even when he was up and walking, that he was still asleep and dreaming. Johnny knew that he daydreamed a lot, but it didn't give that fat witch the right to ridicule him about it, not to mention the fact that she went out of her way to try to embarrass him every chance she got. The sound of her laughter mingled with the others in the class when she had done something particularly embarrassing to him, made him sometimes feel like strangling her with his bare hands. He looked away from her and down at the floor at the red pencil that was laying next to his desk. Without a second thought, he picked it up and began to tap his desk with it. Slowly he slipped into a daydream. No longer was he Johnny Bittman, the average student, and barely noticed 8th grader. He was now Johnny Sleepwalker, intergalactic guardian, and adventurer extraordinaire. No longer did he sit in the social studies class in front of the monstrous hulk of foul-smelling flesh that was Mrs. Stutsworth. He was now in the cockpit of his shark-like space fighter, with his trusted android sidekick, Artificial Intelligence Mark III, nicknamed AI-3 for short. Incoming 12 o'clock AI-3's metallic voice sounded in Johnny's ears. Got him on my scanner, Johnny said. Going in for a standard pass. Power up forward blasters. Forward blasters powered up and ready, Commander. Combat speed on my mark, Johnny commanded. The enemy ships are going into combat formation, the AI-3 said. Combat speed now, Johnny barked into his comlink as he lined up the enemy ships in his sights. Rock and roll, Johnny yelled as he flew directly into the enemy formation of 3 ships, dodging their laser blasts while his own laser blasters blazed away their blue bolts of destruction. 2 of the enemy fires exploded into red balls of fire, sending debris in all directions. Johnny did a rollover, avoiding the scattering shrapnel from the destroyed ships, and then a tight turn to come around and face off with the remaining ship. Sweat beaded on Johnny's forehead as he flew straight at the oncoming space fighter. He began to blast away while rolling and weaving in and out of the bolts of destructive energy that came his way. Their fighters came within inches of smashing into each other as they passed. Johnny turned tight again, but the other ship had pivoted and turned a tighter circle coming around to the rear of Johnny's fighter. He rolled and turned, trying to shake the ship off of his tail, but found that the enemy ship stayed right with him. AI, Johnny yelled, give me a full impulse power. At his command, the ship blasted forward. But the pilot of the ship anticipated the move and had pushed up his own speed to give chase. The doggy's still with us. He's going for a missile lock-on, AI-3 said, with tension creeping into his voice. He's locked on, AI screamed. Cut the engines and give me full retro rockets, Johnny barked over the comlink. Johnny's fighter came to a sudden halt, then sped backwards at the oncoming fire. The enemy fighter rolled as he pulled up, almost colliding with Johnny's ship. Combat speed now, Johnny yelled. The ship's engines roared back to life as he brought the weapons to bear on the enemy ship. Give me missiles, Johnny barked. Missiles, AI yelled back. Johnny locked on and fired. His missiles blazed forth and the enemy ship was hit, then engulfed into their destruction. Johnny let out a war cry of victory as he rolled out of the destroyed ship's debris. Can I borrow your sheet of paper? A small whispered voice came to his ears. Huh? Johnny said, a little puzzled coming out of his daydream. Can I borrow a piece of paper? Came a small whispering voice from behind.
All right, went just a little bit over. Like I said, just a preview of something I have enjoyed for years. Okay, that story I think there are 5 or 6 short stories, all pertaining to Johnny Bittman, aka Johnny Dreamwalker, or Luke Dreamwalker, whatever his full name is, his dream name. But I thought you guys might enjoy that. If you didn't, just be civil. That's all I gotta say. Don't be insulting. That ain't nice, because I'll block the hell out of you quick and in a hurry. Y'all remember, like I said, this, if you don't like it, okay. Ain't no sense in being insulting about it. I think he's a very talented person, and I'd like to know if other folks think the same thing. If you don't, okay. Like I said, keep it civil. But anywho, this is Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalist. On behalf of Uncle Fester, the Uncle Fester 13, Kim O 00, blah blah blah, whatever. Hers is long and drawn out. And all the rest of us here at the Shade Tree Survivalist, thank you very much for watching. Y'all take care. Have a great day.